And welcome to Growing You, Growing Your Business with Tony Walker. Hello, I'm Tony Walker, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this little soiree that we're putting together. I'm really sort of getting some good friends of mine around the table and finding out exactly what makes them tick. And some of the principles, I guess, that I share with them in the course of us working together in the coaching arena. And certainly one of the things one of the first things that I share with a client is an analogy or an acronym about working above or below the line. So what do I mean by that? So it's above the line, if you can imagine the acronym OR, O-A-R, and below the line is BED, B-E-D. Let's start with going to bed first. So when people are working below the line, behave, then what people tend to do quite naturally is to go into blame, they make excuses, and even go into denial that they actually have a challenge. So often is the case when they do that, that's the work of a victim, that's victim mentality. But if you go above the line, or for a boat, O-A-R, then you are taking ownership, you're being accountable for your actions, and you're taking responsibility for who you are. That is more of the victor mentality. So are you the victor or the victim? That's your choice. Well, today I am so pleased and proud to have somebody that I know who works very much above the line, a very, very good friend of mine, William Roberts from Clearview Windows. How are you, mate? Welcome.
No, welcome, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the privilege of being part of this. It's lovely.
Thank you so much for coming along, mate. So, look, we've been working together for quite a while, and we work on this basis of working above the line, taking ownership, being accountable and responsible. So on that basis, mate, tell me a little bit about you. What makes you tick?
Yeah, so first of all, just a little bit of a background. I'm originally from up the East Coast, up in Ruatoria, so a little wee small country town. Some of the Hawke's Bay people will be familiar where that is.
Sweet. Yeah.
And so, I grew up in a little town, little school, and then ended up marrying a Hawke's Bay girl, which, of course, is the love of my life, as I'd always like to say, or I call her the Maharaja, because she is the boss. And so, we've grown into this small business for about 6 years cleaning windows. And many people say, well, why did you get started cleaning windows? Well, I was working at a local factory here, doing inside factory work, and I saw an opportunity just to get doing something that didn't cost a lot of money with outlay.
Yeah.
And so I did that, but the problem is it started with a little small business, but it's now expanding and it's getting bigger.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, that's absolutely true. And this is where it's just been an absolute pleasure just to watch, obviously, the people that I work with. Some people can deal with the growing of the business, but the key thing that we focus on is growing you, growing the business.
Yes.
And so one of the things that we share is the aspect of Kaizen.
Yes.
The constant and never-ending improvement, the 1% moments, looking for that 1% moment. What impression, I guess, has that made upon you, learning about the 1% for you?
Well, I think for me, Tony, it's enabled me not to be overawed by the goals that have been set and what I want to achieve. So it means that a 1%er, if you can attain that, you can attain that each day. It's very reachable.
Yeah.
And so by just concentrating on those little wee steps going along the journey, it's helped me to enjoy the journey, but it's also enabled me to be successful and to look back and to say, well done.
Yeah, good on you. And that's how I've seen and witnessed that growth rate, and it's been fantastic to watch. So you mentioned something about goals. So what would you say would be your immediate goals? Now, I know a little bit of something about a vehicle or something that might be in the wings. I don't know.
Yeah, so before, me and my wife came to you for help in guiding us with our business, we had very much a mentality of it was like a hobby. So it was sort of just pay the bills each week and a little bit of money for a holiday, and that was enough. But we've now become GST registered, we're growing bigger, we're taking on more clients, we've got a website now, so it's become a very serious matter. It has become a family business. And so for us, it's about expanding, but also providing a quality service that people can appreciate. And we want them to really enjoy the Clearview experience, so that they will always turn to us whenever they're in a time of need.
Yeah, in fact, I love that phrase, the Clearview experience, and it really is. So so what makes you then different, say, to any other? But that's blowing your trumpet. But there is a point of difference that you have in the way that you clean windows. What is it?
Probably for me, when I think of that just offhand, maybe straight away, is the communication. Yeah. I like to really be good at communicating. So even if people text me or email me, I try and respond straight away, and just reassuring them that things are going to be fine and get the job done. But also to the taking the time to show interest in people. I actually am not passionate 100% about window cleaning. I just love people. So I love finding out where have they been on holiday, where are they from, what are their hobbies. And each time I see them, when I go to their home, we normally pick up from where we left last time. And so they become friends, really, especially the regular clients.
Yeah, and that is actually, it's really interesting that you say that, because that's actually quite a good secret to have that we've just let you know. That it is about those relationships. We hear about all the time that yes, you must be able to create empathy, and so in all the good books, it's about you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, and yet most people don't.
Yes.
So this is why I get the fun bumps when I know that somebody's actually doing that and they are creating that relationship with the clients.
Yes.
And that's why I love to see your growth and that steady growth, the Kaizen growth, for you and your business model. So good on you.
Yeah. Well, even Tony, like a couple of weeks ago, within 2 days, and it's quite sobering, but there were two older ladies that I do, and previously when I've been there, I've got to know their husbands because they're both retired. And I come to one of my clients and she says, my husband died a few months ago, and so you're just like straight away, you're quite devastated because you got to know these people. And then when you ask them, how long have you been married? Like over 60 years, and so you sort of just feel for them. And so I'm already thinking straight away, I want to bring my daughter around just to give her a bit of happiness in her life, because she's lonely, she's missing her husband. She's got good family support, but it just makes you realise, like, you make these friendships with these people, and you get to know a lot about them, and they get to know a lot about you. But even in those sad occasions, it's nice to be able to give a bit of comfort and support. Yeah,
and again, as you rightly say, that's the Clearview experience. And it really is. It's about understanding that point of difference, that how you can actually change the way that people look at you and what you do. And you made a really good point about, look, window cleaning is great, but people is even better.
Yes.
So when you find yourself literally majoring in how to make people have a better day, then you are really becoming a good entrepreneur. I know that sounds crazy, but it goes hand in glove,
Yes.
And a lot of people, I guess, they don't see that point. They say, well, I'm in business to do this, that's it.
Yes, yeah.
But the moment we actually can attach that personal side to the way that we do business, then that's very much part of the success formula, and I certainly see that in you.
Yes, well, even the guy who does my signwriting from up in Gisborne, Ryan, he loves podcasts and listening to Positive Mindset, but he even said to me the other day when he came to stay, he said, look, let's be honest, you just love being an entrepreneur, don't you? Like, you're always looking at opportunities to do something for people, a service, and so he says, let's be fair, you're not probably passionate about cleaning windows, but you do it because you get to interact with people and seeing their faces light up when the windows are finished. Some women say to me that they won't spring clean their home until I've been through and done the windows, because they can scrub that place every inch of it, but if the windows are dirty, it just doesn't finish it off. So.
Are you listening, ladies? This is your man. But it's really, that's a spot on point. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So what inspires you? Now, I mean, I've heard that the people, obviously your passion, but one step above that, so what is your inspiration? What is it that makes you
That is a very good question, Tony. Probably the biggest thing for me was a big life changer in 2013. So I'd been married to my dear wife for about 10 years. We were enjoying life without children. And then it wasn't planned, but then our daughter came along. And I remember my wife holding a stick with 2 lines on it, and this felt like my life was flashing before my eyes. But in fact, it was going to be a real awesome privilege that was going to come up ahead, but at the time I couldn't see it. And then she was born in Middlemore Hospital in September 2013. And so since then I've become more focused and probably driven to succeed. And the reason for that is she's now 8, and in 10 years she's going to be 18. So wouldn't it be good if I could have done my best, given 100% to get her into a better situation than maybe I was when I was 18?
Brilliant, brilliant. And I tell you, I've met your darling daughter. She is really, you're doing a good job. She is so, occasionally Will and Elena will bring in Mila to the office, and she'll sit there and she'll behave herself. And what I always say is that the children and pets, children and dogs particularly, children and dogs are a reflection on the owners and their parents.
True. Yeah, it is true.
And so Mila will sit there and you don't even know that she's there. So
well, I can tell you this, that she got my good looks in her mother's brains. That's all I can say. Because, it's a good compliment of genetics.
What can I say? That's fantastic. So brilliant. So looking now at where, you're saying you're growing the business. So what would you say is your 12-month goal?
So the 12-month goal for Clearview, or the Clearview experience, we've become very efficient, but also very good at doing quality window cleaning. But we are expanding, so we're looking to move more into house washing now, which has only come about because my current clients have asked for that service. Also, the biggest challenge for most household owners is to get the house wash done, the pest control done, and then the windows done at the end. So if I can provide those 3 services with one phone call to me from the householder, it takes the stress off people, because people are busier than ever before. They are time poor, but they have the available funds to be able to make all that happen. So that's what I'm about, is just trying to care for people that I've built friendships with, and to provide a service that will lower their stress levels and will not require them to worry about it, or just sort it out straight away.
Good man. So you mentioned house washing and pest control as well. So that's quite innovative. So, but that's what you actually, I guess, you found out from talking to your clients that that's what they want.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's an interesting concept, isn't it? You're actually listening to what your customers are saying.
Yeah, the thing is, if they try and organise it, at times it can be a challenge, because I'm the last one to come in doing the windows. So there's a benefit for Clearview as well, and that if we can organise all 3, it's better for us and we can be more efficient. But it also means we provide all 3 services. So anything more than that, I think you've got to be careful that you don't branch off in too many ways. So keeping it simple, but also being able to provide good regular service is important. And when you promise people you're going to be there, be there. So it's a matter of going for quality over quantity as well.
Good man. So on that basis of quality, what do you think you do best at Clearview?
Now, that is a question. What differentiates us from everyone else, I suppose? I'm proud to say that the staff that I do have so far, they're very good with people as well. Like me, I suppose you want to employ people who are similar to you.
Yes.
They may have different backgrounds, but if they've got a similar liking to chatting with people as well as working at the same time, is very important. And just, I think that reliability, but the clear communication and the friendliness when we're on the job. Even little things like, for example, you might be doing the outside windows and you're using a pure water filter system, taking people's doormats away from the door so that the water doesn't get trapped underneath. Just a little feedback that I've had from some of my clients. So we'll go the extra mile doing those things so that it doesn't irk them once we've been. Yes, the windows might be clean, look sparkling, but just those sorts of things, and just trying to show a bit extra care.
Fantastic. And you mentioned pure water systems, so can't we just use any water?
Yeah, the problem in Hawke's Bay is, to all the Hawke's Bayites out there, sadly we do not have good water. We have bad water, and it's not our fault, it's just that we're drawing it up from under the ground. So you get a lot of lime scale. You might notice if you've had a new shower installed, and if you don't filter your water, it soon gets lime scaling or scaling on the glass. So it means that we have to have machinery and equipment that'll purify that water when it comes out of the tap, take all the impurities out, so that when it's on the glass, we're scrubbing the glass, the frame, rinsing it off, it's actually pure water, and it will evaporate off. When the sun gets low, you won't see any squeegee marks from the outside because we've used that system.
Right. So you won't be, you're not the sort of window cleaner that they'll be tapping on the door, so can you just fill this bucket up from your tap? Because it's obviously, hard water or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. However, we do use water on the inside, but just for that outside, we find that's the best quality system.
Yeah.
Because it includes your frames as well, getting those clean.
Yeah.
But it is an issue, the water in Hawke's Bay, but I don't think there's anything we can really do about it.
Okay.
I know a friend who's a window cleaner over in Ohakuni. Well, he's drawing off mountain water. So his water's already pure even before it goes through the system. So it's just where we are.
Yeah.
That's where our water comes from. So depending on the various levels of the aquifers, it's always going to be a bit of an issue.
Wow.
In the Hawke's Bay.
Wow. So you also mentioned, about house washing. So you just chuck a bucket of water over your house, don't you? And that's it, done, isn't it? It's
yeah. Well, that was how it used to be. So we're looking at now, which is a more of a modern trend, which is much more effective, is like a soft wash type cleaning of houses.
Right. So
people have always been concerned about the paint on their homes. They spend a lot of money getting the house painted. So with the soft wash method, it's less PSI coming out of the system, but there's also a chemical that's put on first to put a bit of bite into those things that are sitting on there, like bird poo and dust and things, and then a rinsing off, starting from the spouting down to the bottom. So it means the quality is better, and it actually is more efficient than would be using a water blaster with just a lot of pressure and just trying to blast it all off.
Right. I was going to say, because that would be my thought, is that you just put a water blaster on, and away we go. But of course, as what you were saying, if you're using that hard water under pressure, you're almost sandblasting your house, really, I suppose.
Yeah, and even painters encourage people to get their house washed once a year because it extends the period of time when you need a painter to come back. So it might go from 10 years to maybe 15 years, I don't know, but it does help the longevity of something that costs a lot more than it would be just, to get your house washed. So it's a worthy investment into your home.
Brilliant. And also, does that include, or do you do roofs as well?
Yeah, so we're looking to do that. Of course, that requires health and safety, working at heights. So one of my staff has those tickets. So we are moving in that direction. And then while we're up there, we clean the gutters.
Right. Oh, and gutters as well.
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, if we're up there, we'll sometimes just give them a clean. And then that provides from head to toe a service that, prolongs the longevity of the home, adds value to the home.
Yeah.
And then if people want to sell, it could be the very thing that sells it for them, even though the real estate market in Hawke's Bay is very good at this time. But those sorts of things. Yeah.
So, but this is interesting, when it comes to the roof, it's something that is, for me, it's out of sight, and yet, why would we want to wash our roofs? Again, is it just to make them look nice? Or?
Well, a lot of them now are colour steel. So if you want to prolong the life of that, regularly getting that chemically washed and then rinsed off is good.
Yeah.
And for those of you who live out in the rural area, it just requires taking it away from the tank so that when the chemical is washed out, and then reconnecting so that they can catch that water, because for the rural community, rainwater is so important. So we're very, very conscious of that as well, but it will prolong the life of your roof if you get it regularly washed.
And again, it's a blinding flash of the obvious, a BFO I usually call it, but that makes so much sense. So this is how, what you're saying, you're adding that value to your clients in not only the experience of just you being in their space, of the customer space, but also the value of, as you say, cleaning the house adds that value, especially if somebody is looking at selling their house.
Yes.
Yeah. But also, do you do things like new builds? Because I'm sure on a construction site that would be quite messy. Or
Yeah, so we do, for a few builders, do regular what they call a building clean.
Yep.
So all the tradesmen have gone. Some of them have left their mess behind.
Yeah.
But we look to get all that bits of plaster, paint off the glass.
Yeah.
Also get all the dust off the weatherboards and things. So a full chem wash and then a good window clean. It just means owners, when they come in, they've spent a lot of money. Some of them have spent over $1 million moving into a brand new home now, especially with a big footprint. They can come in knowing that that was money we've spent. Those are the things that just finish it off.
Yeah.
And, for the family just to move in and knowing that everything is nice and clean and ready to go.
That's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. So, 5-year goal. What would you say that where are you going to be in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years, I hope to be less on the tools and more organising. You do worry at times that you'll lose that personal touch with your really good clients.
Yeah.
But I want to grow it, not a huge business, but big enough where I can assist others to subcontract to me, which enables them to get into business. I'm not about becoming filthy rich or anything, but I'm just about helping others along the journey and helping them to succeed. And there's a lot of joy to be had in seeing someone grow. And I mean, as you've helped me grow, Tony, with your business coaching, it's a pleasure to be able to have others working with you and to see them succeed. So probably for us, 10-year goal would be, my daughter will be 18, and if we can help her get into her first home, we don't know what the real estate market will be like then, but if that's something we can do for her just to give her a good head start in life.
Yeah.
For we know she might live with us until she's 40, but God forbid that,
They're doing that nowadays. So they're doing that. So, yeah, and it is. It's just that answer in itself just epitomises who you are. That's why I'm so lucky to be working with you, because it's a two-way process. I learn a great deal from you in what you bring to our meetings, because it's not motivation, it's just the inspiration that you bring to the table.
Yes.
Every week we meet, and it's just a natural process that we when we talk, you get to that next level, and it's just a joy, an absolute joy, just working with you, my friend.
Well, I view it a real joy and pleasure for us, Tony. I mean, when I first met you and wanted to get on board, I was the accelerator, my wife was the brake, but seeing my wife flourish and changing her mindset and my mindset from being a hobby to a business has helped. And we're working well as a team, and we've even seen it grow quickly in recent times, where reluctantly she's allowed me to buy my first ever brand new vehicle. So it'll be a work vehicle, but looking forward to that. And I've never had a brand new vehicle in my life, so to me that's a sign of success. Without over-capitalising or getting yourself into debt, and so I look forward to all those things that I've been able to achieve, which I wouldn't achieve without you, Tony, so I really appreciate your help.
Look, you're very kind, but like I say, it's a two-way street. The fact that you turn up every week and then you're prepared to put the hard mahi in, that's why you're so successful, and I'm so glad and humbled to be working with you. So well, it's been an absolute pleasure just catching up, and I hope that it's been a good thing for you to hear Will's story, and I look forward very much to just sharing in your success as you go forward. So from Will and Clearview, give them a call. Where can they find you?
If they go to Google, you can put in Clearview Windows Hawke's Bay, and you'll find my website there. So you can go there. I've got my email on there, my phone number.
Fantastic.
And just touch base. I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Excellent.
So we'd love to hear from you. Don't ever think that my house isn't good enough. I think everyone is important.
Fantastic.
And we're happy to care for your needs.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you, Tony. It's a pleasure.
Thanks. Cheers.